Hello everyone, welcome to my crochet channel. Today's tutorial is for Lacy Baby Blanket, which I named Lacy Cupcakes. I created this baby blanket design back in 2018, and since then the pattern has been available in my Etsy and Ravelry shops. But now I decided to release this pattern as a free video tutorial as well. I recently crocheted the baby blanket you see on the screen as a commission. Actually, I crocheted several things for this commission, which I greatly enjoyed. There is always something very special about crocheting for babies. But back to the blanket. As I said, the pattern is available in my shops, and I'm very grateful to the people who have purchased it in the past. Thank you so much for supporting my work. These are the photos and reviews that some of my customers left me. It's always fun to see your creations from my patterns, especially in different colors, different yarns, and different variations. Thank you. Note that in my original pattern, I used category 3 100% acrylic yarn and a hook size G 4.25 millimeters. The finished measurements of that blanket were 38 inches long and 31 inches wide. However, the blanket that you see on the screen now, I worked with category 4 100% acrylic yarn and a hook size I 5.5 millimeters. Starting with the same amount of stitches as in the written pattern, the finished size is larger. It is approximately 44 inches long and 38 inches wide. I think both variations look quite lovely, and the blanket can be worked with either category 3 or category 4 yarn. My camera picks up the color of the blanket differently depending on whether it's sunny outside or not. When it's sunny, the blanket looks pink, but when a cloud covers the sun, the blanket looks more lavender. But it is indeed the same blanket. Again, a huge thank you to those of you who have purchased this pattern or any other of my patterns. Your support means a lot to me and my family. Thank you. The yarn that I used for this blanket is Pound of Love by Lion brand. And this color is Pastel Pink, and the blanket took the entire pound of this yarn. I only had a little bit of pink left, which I then used for the baby hat and the baby booties. And the ruffled edge took quite a lot of yarn too. In fact, it took almost half of another Pound of Love, but in color. This color is antique white. For the purpose of the tutorial, I will make this sample. This is like a miniature version of the blanket, and I will use that same Pound of Love antique white yarn. I'm going to use this same leftover yarn to make my sample. And the hook size is I 5.5 millimeters. The starting chain must be a multiple of 10 plus 5. For the actual blanket, I started with 125 chains, but for my sample, I will start with 35 chains. Here I have 35 chains, and I'm ready to start the first row. Into the fifth chain from the hook, I will work a double crochet. We never count the chain on the hook, we always start counting from the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the fifth chain I make a double crochet. So this beginning stitch counts as double crochet, 1 chain and a double crochet, because over here I have 4 skipped chains. 3 of those chains count as a double crochet, and then 1 chain counts as chain 1 space. Next, 1 chain, and I skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into each one of the next 3 chains I work a double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. 1 chain, and again I skip 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and into the next chain I will work a double crochet, 3 chains and 1 more double crochet. So first a double crochet, then 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the same chain I work 1 more double crochet. 1 chain, and I skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into each one of the next 3 chains I will work a double crochet. So basically the pattern now begins to repeat from here. So I skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then into each one of the next 3 chains I work a double crochet. 1 chain, again skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the next chain I work a double crochet, 3 chains, and a double crochet. And again, 1 chain, skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into each of the next 3 chains I work a double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Now I have 4 chains left. I make 1 chain, skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the last chain I make a double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 more double crochet. Now the first row is finished. I turn my work and I start the next row with 3 chains, which count as the first double crochet. And now into this chain 1 space I work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Next 1 chain, and into the middle double crochet of these 3 double crochets I work a double crochet, and many crocheters make double crochets inserting the hook under the 2 loops on the top. I prefer doing it inserting the hook under 3 loops. That way the stitches are neatly aligned one on top of the other. Now again 1 chain, and now I will be working into this chain 3 space, and that's where I make 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now the pattern begins to repeat from here. I make 1 chain, and into the middle double crochet over here I work a double crochet. 1 chain, and over here into the chain 3 space again I work 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 chain, and into the middle double crochet over here a double crochet. Then 1 chain, and I'm going to end this row by working 4 double crochets into this chain space. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. What you can do here is actually work the very last double crochet into the third chain like this, and that way you will get a better straighter edge. However, I don't do that because when this piece is done, there will be a border worked all the way around. So there will be single crochets worked into the ends of rows and the sides will straighten up. So it's really up to you. You can make that extra effort and make the last double crochet into the third chain like this, or you can make all 4 double crochets into the chain space like this. So this row number 2, is now finished. I start the next row with 3 chains, and into the next or second double crochet, I make a double crochet. Now 1 chain, I skip the next 2 double crochets, and I will be working into this double crochet over here. So into this double crochet, I make a double crochet, 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and another double crochet, 1 chain, and I skip the next 2 double crochets, and into each one of the next 3 double crochets I work a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 1 chain, skip these 2 double crochets, and again I will be working into this double crochet right here. So basically the pattern now repeats from this point. So into this double crochet I make a double crochet, 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and another double crochet. Again 1 chain, skip the next 2 double crochets, and into each one of the next 3 double crochets I work a double crochet. One chain, and into this double crochet I work a double crochet, 3 chains, and a double crochet. 1 chain, I skip the next 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and into each one of these last 2 double crochets I work a double crochet. And now the third row is finished. I start the next row number 4, with 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of these 4 chains count as the first double crochet, and 1 chain counts as chain 1 space. Now I will be working into the chain 3 space over here, and right here I make 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next 1 chain, and into the middle double crochet of these 3 double crochets I make a double crochet. 1 chain, and again the same thing as over here. Into the chain 3 space I work 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. One chain, and into the middle double crochet. I work a double crochet. Again, one chain, and into the chain 3 space right here, 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One chain, and I end this row by making a double crochet into the last double crochet. So now I have 4 rows of the pattern finished. I start row number 5 with 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of these chains count as the first double crochet, and 1 chain counts as chain 1 space. Now into this same first double crochet, I work 1 more double crochet. So now this counts as if into the very first double crochet, I have a double crochet worked, 1 chain and a double crochet. Next, 1 chain, and I skip the next 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and into each one of the next 3 double crochets, I work a double crochet. 1, 2, 3. 1 chain, and now into this double crochet I will work a double crochet, 3 chains and a double crochet. So I make a double crochet, then 3 chains and a double crochet. 1 chain, I skip the next 2 double crochets, and into each one of these 3 middle double crochets I will work a double crochet the same way I did over here. So 1, 2, 3. 1 chain, and over here into this double crochet I work a double crochet, 3 chains and a double crochet. 1 chain, skip the next 2 double crochets, and into each one of the next 3 double crochets I make a double crochet. Now 1 chain, and I'm going to end this row working into the 3rd chain, counting from the bottom, 1, 2, 3 of these 4 chains. So right here I make 1 double crochet, 1 chain and 1 more double crochet. So now I have 5 rows of the pattern finished, and from this point the pattern begins to repeat from row number 2. So there are 4 repeating rows in the pattern: row number 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now I'm gonna go ahead and work more rows of the pattern to get a rectangle, and then I'll show you how to make the trim of this blanket. I worked more rows of the pattern. Now I have a rectangle here, and the last row that I made was row number 2. Now I'm going to show you how to make a border for this blanket. I make 1 chain, but I do not turn. I'm going to continue crocheting this way. I will be crocheting into the ends of rows. So into each end of row I make 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and into the next end of row 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and into the next one 1, 2, and into the next one 1, 2, and I'm gonna continue crocheting like this all the way to this corner. So here I crocheted single crochets on this side of the blanket, and now into the corner I make 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and now I will be crocheting single crochets into the original chain, and into each chain here I work a single crochet. So I'm just gonna make a single crochet into each chain all the way across to the next corner. Here I am at the next corner, and into the corner space I make 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3. Now I will continue crocheting on this side, working into the ends of rows, and just like I did over here, into each end of row I will work 2 single crochets. Here I have a yarn tail from the starting chain, so I'm going to hide it in, and then I'll start crocheting single crochets into 2 single crochets into each end of rows. So 1, 2, and then again 1, 2, and so on all the way across to the next corner. And again into the corner space I make 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and now I will be crocheting into the last row, and here I make a single crochet into each stitch and into each chain. All the way across to the next corner. And at this corner, into the corner space, I work 3 single crochets, and then I join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. So now I have 1 round of single crochets worked around the perimeter of the blanket. The next 3 rounds are very easy. It's simply going to be rounds of single crochets. I start with 1 chain, and then into each single crochet I make a single crochet, and then when I get to the corner, into the corner stitch I will work 3 single crochets. So I'm gonna go ahead and work 3 more rounds of single crochets, and at the end of each round I will join with a slip stitch. I will join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. So I'm gonna make 3 more rounds of single crochets, and then I'll show you how to work the ruffled part. I crocheted 4 rounds of single crochets. Now the next round I start with 1 chain, and into the same stitch where I joined I make a single crochet. Next 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I skip the next 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into the next one I make a single crochet. So here I have a chain 5 loop, and I do the same thing, 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I skip the next 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into the next one I make a single crochet. So this round is very easy. It's a round of chain 5 loops and I skip 3 single crochets. So that's how I'm gonna continue crocheting all the way around. On this corner, the stitches worked out perfectly. I skipped 3 single crochets and then into the corner stitch I made a single crochet, and then again over here I skipped 3 single crochets. But on this corner I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches to the corner space. So if I skip 1, 2, 3 and make a single crochet into this one, then I only have 2 stitches left to the corner. So a little trick to do here is over here I'm actually going to skip only 2 single crochets like this, and then 5 chains, and then 1, 2, 3, and into the corner one I make a single crochet. So it's not gonna be noticeable that there are only 2 stitches skipped here and not 3. And now I can continue crocheting the same way. And again, if I'm gonna come across a small inconsistency like that, that's how I will fix it. If I don't have enough stitches to skip, I will simply skip 1 stitch fewer. And I joined this round, this last loop, to the first single crochet. I start the next round with 1 single crochet, and into the same single crochet where I joined, I work a single crochet. Now into the next chain 5 loop, I work 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Into the next single crochet, I work a single crochet. Into the next chain 5 loop, again, I make 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into the next single crochet, a single crochet. And that's how I'm going to continue crocheting all the way around. Now I join this round with a slip stitch to the first single crochet, and now I only have 1 more round to do. I start with 1 chain and a single crochet into the same single crochet where I joined. Now into the next double crochet I work 2 double crochets. 1, 2. And notice that here when I work into the next double crochet, I don't insert the hook into the double crochet directly, but I only insert the hook under the top 2 loops. So here I work 2 double crochets. Next I make 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and into the next double crochet I make 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and again 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and into the next double crochet 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and again 3 chains, and into the next double crochet 2 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 chains, into the next double crochet 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and again 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, into the next double crochet 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and that's what's gonna create that ruffled part of the border. Now into the next single crochet I make a single crochet. And now I start to do the same thing over here. Into the next double crochet, I work 2 double crochets, then 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. Into the next double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, then 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. Into the next double crochet, again 2 double crochets, and then 3 chains. But when I get to the single crochet over here, I will work a single crochet into that single crochet. And that's how I'm going to continue crocheting all the way around. And that's how the ruffled border on this blanket is worked. When I finish this round, I will simply join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet, then fasten off and hide the yarn tail. I want to mention here that if this seems to be too much of a ruffle for your taste, you can make it less ruffled by working 5 double crochets over here in the previous round. Instead of 6 double crochets, you can make only 5.